Yeah. I think I'm about to double up. Yeah, I gotta make up for earlier this week. I wasn't able to get on my routine well, but you know, God willing, this is the week to do so. Starting this weekend, going into the week. I just finished charging the vehicle for tomorrow. Right, it's the best time hour to do it. Right now, I just paid $10 or $9. It says 911 to get to 100%. Now, I didn't burn it down that bad. Like, I don't want to get burnt out. Like right now, it's almost 1:30, and tomorrow it's a full day. So I already got my 8 hours in for Friday. I came out after 3, so I got what I got. I was very tired when I woke up today because however, the job is not hard, but it's 2 a-days. So you sleep for like 6. I got a bunch of alarm every 4 hours to plus I nod a little bit, but I was still burnt out at the end of the day. So no job are completely easy. For real, when people show up, they, like your supervisors and stuff, they kind of expect you to look like you working. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I'm leaving the charging station right now. I'm trying to get home, trying to get like a maybe a 8-hour sleep, come back out like maybe a little before 11:30, start driving. It might be a 12-hour day, so that way, I just want to be ahead because, whether I make money or not, I gotta pay for this rental per week. So I'm just trying to adjust to having to pay this versus paying my car note, having to pay basically almost the amount of my car note per week, then paying my car note once a month, and insurance and gas. So a lot of it is really just my charging habits. So when I just got the car, I was eager to get out, so I would go and charge it like middle of the week, middle of the day, and paying double the price because it's like people who drive Tesla would tell you, or electric cars. Late at night, it's cheaper, and middle of the day, it's expensive. Like I would have paid like $18 to $20 to charge it just as much at night. I mean during the day. Sorry. So just forming this new habit of how I go about things should allow me to not only save money, but make money. So job, 2 weeks pay. Every 2 weeks I get paid, and Uber, my instant pay, I get in what I put in, and once school is back open, I'm really gonna see what's to it. The only thing I'm missing now with this new routine is the early morning, people who's going to work. From Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I would do that and, make my first 100, 150. And sometimes, I get to stay out all day and see $200, $250, $300. But, the job, like I said, the job is the security. So I'm basically just paraphrasing the long video I did earlier till I get home. So yeah, I was getting over a cold, by the way, last week, which I'm not all the way there. Like, I just shot a 30-minute video, and now I could kind of see my vocal cord kind of roughen up a little bit. So I'm not sick no more, thank God. But yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks just adjusting and kind of worried a little bit, man. If I didn't have a job to collaborate with getting this rental to do Uber, I would have felt a lot more defeated. Now the pay ain't crazy with the job, but at least I know, I could combine it with something else, because when Uber is slow and you kind of basically just killing yourself to make a little something, just accepting everything, it could feel terrible. But that's the reason why I accepted this job, because it lets me do Uber on prime days, like Saturday, Sunday. I know it's like there's gonna be something going on, people going out, and especially Saturday during early day, people are well tipping and stuff like that. And then obviously Thursday when I get off work, I just take my chance. But mostly I just focus on recovering and just doing a little something for the DoorDash that I did this week. So I might have a target to do like $100 and then call it a day, charge it for Friday. And today I did okay. I think I covered that. I made like a little over 200. So it's okay for a Friday. And then tomorrow, like I said, I didn't try to get burnt out today, because tomorrow I need to be out here before 12 so I could, hit the bonuses by giving a certain amount of rides. So that's that with work. And the focus is to get back on my routine, because a routine is my friend. I like to have a routine, and I almost want to feel like I got my cheat code, man, because right now, to be honest with you, that's really what I want to talk about on this channel. But basically not. I'm getting away from paying rent, man. I think if I had to pay $1,000 in rent, I would have never seen another country anytime soon, because even just looking for a room, they want like $750 for the worst looking room out here in the city of Philadelphia. And a 1-bedroom is like almost like $1,000 and stuff like that. So I just don't want to be plunking $1,000, especially with my work schedule right now. I don't want to be plunking $1,000, but where I am right now, though, I am responsible for a light bill, and kind of be a handyman, and sometimes I make sure I just clean up as well, like making sure So I don't want to get too personal, but I just gotta mention that for those that rock with the channel, it's just a little sprinkle right there, because I will dissect that when I get a little bit more. Basically, when I get away from it a little bit more, like it's part of my story. At 30 years old, I definitely wanted to have my own domain, but like Coach Greg Adams said, man, if you still doing you fucked up somewhere. If you're still struggling to make it in life, you fucked up somewhere. So, yeah, I mean, if I look back, I spent 8 years from 2012 to 2020 smoking weed, From 2012, I was supposed to finish high school and get into college and learn something, but I left without a degree. So, definitely did fucked up somewhere, and I was just frying my brain. Not because I was a spoiled kid, but I had a lot of problems that if I wasn't smoking weed at that time, I'd probably, I don't know, I'd probably be, I don't know, but I definitely could have substituted that with learning investing, because I did make okay money the whole way through. You know, whether I was doing a check cashing job and living amongst my father, just responsible for the gas bill and something like that. I always contributed, but I just felt like I would have traded that smoking weed to be living my best bachelor. You know, just learning life a little bit better. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I always lived with somebody this whole way. So I never paid my first rent on my own yet. Besides, you know, living in college and, you know, not necessarily a dorm, but like housing, like a off-campus housing. I did that, but outside of that, like a rural apartment, even if it meant a roommate, I haven't done that yet. So it feels weird because I turned 30 and I'm just like, wow, I'm already 30 and yeah, I haven't had my own space. So that's another thing I want to talk about. Maybe not today, but that's what I'm working on. But at the same time, because like I said, I don't really want to live here or have the burden of living, you know, like being tied. Like my car breaking down is the gift and the curse, because the interest was so high, and then in 2 years I had already paid $12,000, so it was the car, and I still owed about $17,000, closer to $18,000 than it was close to, you know, to the lower end. So like that car, I started traveling and I started thinking, man, without a car note, but you know, making the same money, you know, I'd be able to travel more. So gift and the curse, just getting rid of it. I wouldn't, like with the car still running good, I wouldn't got rid of it because it was also my source of income. But it breaking down and having to get rid of it and possibly, you know, settling the debt at a, you know, without the interest rate still busting me up. You know, it's, like I said, gift and a curse. The car left yesterday. I don't have the final results yet, and even then, I'll probably try to settle it at a lower amount. I'm still learning the credit game. Like, you know, I have a credit bureau that's working on my credit currently. So surrendering the car was the last thing I wanted to do, because I'm almost at 700, but I have to see how that affects my credit as well. But I'm almost home, so I have to close this out. So with everything I mentioned, like I said, the apartment thing, like that's probably where it's like I want to live alone, but you know, I don't want to be known as the guy that still lives at home, but yet I'm not technically at home. I actually just have roommates, but you know, just older folks that I'm also helping them out. So it's not like I needed a place to stay. Even when I was working at the post office, even when I wanted to go out on my own and get a place, it was almost like, man, please don't leave us. So it was something that served both of us till this point. Like, now that I have this job where I kind of have to stay there because I get to sleep for 2 hours. I mean, 6 hours, Paul. My fault. And work 16. So it's like, you know, I have a bed to sleep there and stuff like that. So it works perfectly, you know. I'd be a dumbass to say, yeah, I'm going to rent, you know. But I'm also waiting for my mom to get here in this country before I do rent somewhere to stay, because then, you know, I can't live the way I'm living. But the reason why I've been living like this is because it made sense. Like, it's not my job to make it make sense to other people, but I do know that it bothers me to not have a spot of my own. But yet, at the same time, it helped me a lot, because I took 5 trips It was just the DR in Colombia, but it at least made me, it tuned me up a little bit. It made me want to see more places. It made me want to get my bag up. So yeah, I mean, like I said though, even if I didn't have a place to stay, my motivation is really just to have a mobile joint to sleep in and shower in the thing, because I want to stack that monthly $1,000. I just want it to stack. I want to get out of debt, and then I want to have a business, and finally I want to be overseas. I could be a nomad, a backpacker, or something, but the last thing I want to do is just paying rent and not be able to go nowhere. That's the last thing I want to do. Now, if I have more than enough, then yes, I will keep a space here. Either way, I have to do it eventually, because like I said, my mother's will be here until she'll decide this country is for her, where she'll she'll join the workforce here. I don't know, because she's just the same way. She just want to be a businesswoman, and she just want to hustle. She never had a traditional job. My father always been a barber, never, she tried the factory when he first got here, but he left that thing faster than I could remember. He tried school himself. I don't want to get too deep into his thing, but I do know I get that from both of these people. Like, none of them had a traditional job, and I didn't spend much time with them growing up. Like, I've been pretty much on my own since 12, 13 years old. Like, since I left for my grandmother, I was pretty much independent from most things. So yes, I've lived among my father, like when I was, after I left for college. That's when I think, I was trying to be able to say, hey, I've been on my own. But I came back and stayed for like 2 years. Then I moved to I moved near my grandma. Like, it's a big house. I was helping out there too. But before I could blink, I know it, I left that house too. In the past 4 years, I've been somewhere else where people that's not quite family, but they feel like family now. So yeah, next thing you know, I'm 30, and I never really lived alone. So I'm bringing this to YouTube, not because, I want that to be, you can't really make sense of it, because I could tell you this, but yet at the same time, it's much more complicated than that. So that's why it's only on purpose, man. Long story short, this is almost 20 minutes, and I just finished shooting a 30-minute video, which is currently uploading. Did it successfully uploaded? Yes, it's on the channel right now, and I'm about to upload this one as well. So, it's pretty much a summary of what I talked about in the 30-minute video. So, yeah, my voice is cracking already. So, this is it. I'm home. I'm about to walk in. I'm about to rest for tomorrow. I got the fresh cut. You can't miss it on this video. It's a little blurry, but tomorrow morning, the sun will be shining. If I get a chance, I'll shoot a video, because it's a daily thing. It's a daily journal. And because I've been looking rough most of the time in these videos, I definitely got to show the progress, I'm trying to keep up with my grooming and be presentable, because you just never know who's watching, who's gonna eventually be watching, what events that could take place in my life for people to go back and watch these videos. So I basically got to think about my legacy when I'm on this platform. What do I want people to see when they tune into my thing? So all of that been a thought. I've always been a thoughtful person in that regards. Like, you know. So, yeah, this is it. Please, if you made it this far, like the video, please subscribe, and most importantly, well, not really, but you could leave a comment, man. Engage with me. It will really help me. Now, I have to be open. There's going to be negativity, but I really encourage the positivity. So, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.